Have you ever thought that with the just few dozen million Vietnam dong or either money, you could become a kind of mini bank, lending it to others and earning a much higher return than a normal saving account? That's the idea behind P2P lending. But is Vietnam ready for this game? And how does Vietnamese law regulate it? Hello everyone and welcome back to the Lawyer Talk, the podcast channel of BLawyers Vietnam. I'm Dang Thi Kim Chau. I'm very happy to see you again in today's episode. Today we will explore a topic that's been making waves in Vietnam fintech community lately, Decree number 94/2025, which set out the regulatory Sandbox Mechanism in the banking sector. This is Vietnam's very first step toward legalizing the test of innovative financial technology models, especially P2P lending. The first question is, what is P2P lending and why is it hard? P2P lending connects lenders and borrowers through a digital platform, no bank in the middle. For example, you have 5 million Vietnam dong, nearly $2,000. Instead of depositing it in a bank with an annual interest rate of 4 to 5%, you can lend it through a P2P lending and earn 10 to 12% instead. Sound appealing, right? But BLawyers Vietnam want to ask you the question: who will guarantee that your money is safe? And the second question is, why Decree 94 is turning point for Vietnam fintech sector? And Decree 94 set out the framework for a control setting mechanism in the banking sector. In other words, it's a law organization to take new fintech pay for a service or a business model that use technology but only under the close supervision of State Bank of Vietnam. There are three categories of fintech solutions permitted to join the Sandbox. First, credit scoring. And second, data sharing through open APIs. And the third, P2P lending. Each Sandbox stake can lead to 2 years and can be extended twice, 1 year each time. All standing activity must take place within Vietnam. No cross-border trials are allowed. And here an open question from BLawyers Vietnam. Is 2 years enough to prove that P2P lending is truly safe? And the third question is, how does Decree 94 regulate P2P lending? P2P lending is defined as a solution that uses information technology to connect and support the signing of loan agreements between lenders and borrowers on digital platform using Vietnamese dong. The platform provider, now as a P2P lending company, must be a fintech company duly operating in Vietnam, not a credit institution. It must be legally established in Vietnam and may either operate independently or cooperate with a bank or foreign bank branches. Importantly, non-Vietnamese-owned companies, not those with foreign investment, are eligible to participate in the Sandbox of P2P lending. This reflects the government's caution approach during the pilot phase, aiming to minimize risk related to capital control and cross-border funds flow. The fourth question is condition for a fintech company to join the Sandbox. To obtain a Sandbox participation certificate, a fintech company must meet several key requirements. First, it must be a Vietnamese enterprise with no foreign capital and not in the process of division, merger, or dissolution. And second, its legally representative general director must hold a university degree or higher in commerce, business administration, law, and information technology and have at least 2 years of management experience in the financial or banking sector, while not being subject to any prohibition. Third, it must meet requirements regarding personnel, infrastructure, and technology for its B2B lending platform, including 1. Its technology and data system must be located in Vietnam with an independent backup system that operates safely and continuously. And 2 is customer information must be stored and saved independently but kept strictly confidential in accordance with the law. And 3 is the technology system must undergo testing and assessment before being put into operation. And 4 is technical team must be capable of ensuring 94/7 stable operations. And last, The P2P lending solution itself must meet certain lending criteria. And one is having measures to identify and control the maximum outstanding balance for each borrower, and two is conducting two loan disbursement and repayment via licensed bank account or e-wallets, and the third is ensuring its long term does not exceed 2 years. And the fifth question is how is the flow of funds managed in the P2P lending? Decree 94 requires that on transaction, disbursement, repayment, and interest and fee must go through licensed bank account or e-wallets. This means that a P2P lending platform cannot directly hold the lender or borrower monies. This mechanism helps prevent money laundering and financial fraud. However, Decree 94 does not clearly define the role of intermediary credit institutions. For example, must banks supervise the fund flow, or do they simply provide payment account for each relevant party? This is one of the first legal gray areas, leaving actual mechanism for money control still unclear. The sixth question is who decides the lending limits and outstanding balance. On Decree 94, the Governor of State Bank of Vietnam had the authority to determine a maximum loan balance per borrower across on P2P platform within the Sandbox. Specifically, under Decision 2866 of the State Bank of Vietnam, the limits are for each P2P lending platform is 100 million Vietnam dong, and for all P2P lending platform combined is 400 million Vietnam dong. However, there are no clear formula and quantitative standards, such as income, credit score, and loan purpose to determine the limits. While this gives flexibility to the State Bank of Vietnam, it also creates uncertainty for business and investors who are assessing financial risks. And the seventh question is legal gaps and potential risks. Although Decree 94 is a major step forward, there are still some legal gaps and risks. And firstly, lack of clear cybersecurity and technical standards. The decree only requires companies to ensure safe, secure, and continuous operation without specifying compliance with standards such as ISO over IESC or independent certificate procedures. This makes compliance and supervision procedures difficult to implement. And second is unclear payment mechanism. Although on-cash flow must flow through bank or e-wallet, the legal responsibility of each party remains undefined. For example, if a transaction fails either way or turns out fraudulent, who bears the liability? The decree doesn't say. And the third is undefined criteria for lending limits. Without quantitative standards, the framework lacks transparency and may lead to inconsistent risk management among Sandbox participants. The fourth is greater protection for lenders than borrowers. The decree focuses heavily on borrower obligations, such as legal loan purpose and debt limits, but borrowers are not equally protected. No ceiling on interest rate or fee, no independent dispute resolution mechanism, and the specific rule on unlawful debt collection practice. And the fifth is lack of debt recovery and enforcement provisions. A P2P lending company is required to provide security measures for the loans, meaning it is not permitted to act as a lender or to hold collateral assets. However, there are no guidelines on how debt recovery should be carried out when a borrower becomes insolvent. As a result, the handling of non-performing loans under P2P lending Sandbox remains a legal vacuum. And the BLawyers Vietnam open questions for you is, who do you think should be held responsible if financial fraud occurs? The platform, the bank, or the lender? The eighth question is the future of the Sandbox. Despite the gap mentioned in the seventh question, Decree 94 is a central milestone for formally recognizing and regulating fintech activity in Vietnam. For the first time, fintech companies can legally start the P2P lending model under supervision of the State Bank. This has two actual lawful investment into Vietnam fintech sector. and curb illegal lending disguised as digital platform, and provide foundation for developing a full legal framework for P2P lending in the future. And here an open question for this platform, BLawyers Vietnam. Will the Sandbox make Vietnam a regional fintech hub, or will it remain just a short-term experience, and why? At BLawyers Vietnam, we believe that in long term, this Sandbox become a launchpad for innovative financial model, but only if accompanied by safe, transparent, and financial consumer protective legal framework. We hope today's expo has brought you useful insight. At BLawyers Vietnam, we provide comprehensive legal service for fintech companies participating in the regulatory sandbox. What do you think? Is B2B lending an opportunity or risk? Leave your thought in the comment below, and don't forget to follow the Lawyer Talk for more updates on hot legal topics. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and see you again.